Staying in tonight and I'm all alone.
Hi, let's talk about varnishing our paintings. So I've been varnishing my paintings for a long time, many years, acrylic and oil paintings, and I've learned a few tips along the way that I wanted to share. These tips will really apply to oil and acrylic painting. Right now I'm mostly an oil painter, but yeah, you can apply these same principles to any type of paint. So my favorite varnish right now as an oil painter is Gamvar. It's a very popular one. It's by the brand Gamblin. They make oil paint and Gamsol and other things like that. And it's just great quality. And the reason I like Gamvar is because you can use it on your paintings when they're dry to the touch. So you don't have to wait months and months for oil paintings to be completely cured. You can wait just until it's dry to the touch, a few days, and then put your Gamvar on there. And Gamvar actually lets the painting breathe, so it doesn't suffocate your painting like other harsh varnishes might do. It's very lightweight and just gives a little bit of sheen and shine and sparkle to your paintings. The reason I like varnish is because it protects your paintings from light, UV rays and everything like that, and it prevents discoloration from happening later on. You're still always going to have your colors fading a little bit with oil paint and acrylic paint, but varnish does help prevent your colors from fading as fast. And Gamvar is nice because you can actually wipe it off with Gamsol. You can dissolve it and then reapply it later, because sometimes varnish will discolor itself, become a little yellow. So maybe years down the line, if you need to wipe it off and reapply it, you can. So that's really nice. So my first tip with varnishing is to always use the same brush, to have one dedicated varnishing brush. You never want to mix it with oil paints or acrylic or anything, because you might get colors in your varnish. You don't want to do that. You just want to have it separate, away from all your painting brushes. My second tip is to always move your varnish brush in the same direction when you're varnishing. So you don't want to be going like up and down, left and right, woo, circles. Like, you're gonna get weird textures and bubbles and things. You want to go very gently, just in the same, I like to go left to right, just swiping very lightly in the same direction so that it's all smooth and, you know, gives a flat layer of varnish. My third tip is to go really light with your varnish. You don't want to put a lot on there. You can always do multiple layers. I like to do maybe like 2 or 3 really thin coats, and I feel like that looks the best because you never get bubbles, it's never too thick or, you know, tacky or sticky in places. It just provides a very even, you know, sheen layer. So go lighter if possible. You can always build it up. You don't want to put too much. Like, I just put a little drop in the middle of my painting, and then I'll kind of, you know, spread it out, and it really goes a long way. My next tip is to clean your varnish brush immediately when you're done varnishing. So varnish is very hard to get off a brush, and it really sticks in the brush. So I find that I have to clean it immediately. So I will varnish, put my painting in a place to dry, and then I will take the brush immediately to the sink and run hot water and lather it with like Dawn soap, because Dawn soap is pretty strong. So yeah, I just like put a ton of soap and hot water, and then, you know, wash it out really well and then let it dry, and it's usually good. You can also clean it with solvents or other harsher chemicals. Whatever you do, just clean it immediately after you varnish so it doesn't get all crusty and hardened on your brush. My next tip is, if you're worried about the varnish going over the sides of your canvas or wood panel or whatever, you can use painter's tape to prevent that and get clean varnishing lines. So I like frog tape for this. It's thick yellow tape, so you can put that on the sides of your canvas, and then you don't have to worry about the varnish spilling over. And my last tip is to have good ventilation and a good drying system. So I will varnish like inside, but I'll have every window open and the fans going, because varnish is really strong and it is a, you know, it's a chemical. So you do want to have good ventilation. And when I'm done, I take my painting immediately outside and I will put a box over it to dry. You don't want it to just be outside or in the open and let dust or, you know, dirt settle on it. You do want to have something to cover it, but I do like to let it dry outside if possible, if you have a place for it. If you don't have a place outside, it's okay to put it by a window and maybe have a light fan going. You don't want like too many fans, like, because it might mess up the varnish. varnish, but just have a light fan and some ventilation, a window, and then put a box over it if possible to dry. You can also lean your painting up against a wall if you don't have a box to put over it. Yeah, just make sure you have a good system for ventilation and letting your paintings dry in a safe, peaceful place. Okay, well those were some quick varnishing tips. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you have fun varnishing your paintings. And if you have any tips to add about varnishing, let me know, because I am always still learning and, growing as an artist. So yeah, let me know. Thank you for watching and have a great day and happy painting.